everybody. Hey guys and gals, Sonia and all the friends. I can turn that off. How are you? I'm glad you're here. I see the comments. I'm in a totally new room. Welcome to, I think this is like the third or fourth Guitar Hunter Live from Nashville. I think everyone was in that room, was in downstairs. I was down in the bunker in the big house down there. And yeah, I think this is the third or fourth one that I've done here in Nashville. So if you don't know, we're in Nashville indefinitely. Now with that said, we're going back tomorrow. We'll leave for a week. We'll go back to Virginia. We got some family stuff. Well, we got some stuff there and a wedding and some fun stuff, and then also some practical stuff that we couldn't really move. But in the meantime, we're in Nashville. And so there's some family stuff going on. It is in the private, the personal world of what we're doing, but our family gets to be here and be together in a hard stretch. And so in the meantime, I also get to continue working and making guitar videos and YouTube videos. So there's a bunch of comments here. So the computer's just down here, but I like this space. This is a good space here. This chair is so comfortable. I like the green velour. It's not velour, it's something, but it's so nice. But yeah, so if you see me looking down here, I'm just looking at the computer. Now the computer, I should say, I'll show you. Computer's right there, and it's sitting on top of like a waste basket, like a trash can. So there are some comments I wanna get to. So Grant McCausey, and I think this one actually came in before the show started, but I'll go ahead and answer it or talk about it. So number one, a deal, actually, hang on, before I get into that, let's do just some general updates because it actually deals with Sonia's second comment. So if you've been on YouTube and all other channels, I mean, all over the place, it is a really painful and pervasive problem. There are bots scamming people in the comments of videos. It happens in my videos. It's happening all of the time. It's really obnoxious, really annoying. I'm doing everything I can. I even tried something yesterday that immediately didn't work, which I have to give it to them. It is clever how quickly they're able to fix these things. So it'll say something like, it'll be my picture, and then it'll say something like, telegram me, Jeremy Sheppard, something. But if you really look closely, it looks like my picture, but it's not actually me. The name isn't Jeremy Sheppard, and it's just not me. But the problem is there are people trying to get you to message them on Telegram, and they're gonna say that you want a guitar. A couple people have gotten close to getting scammed, and I really don't want that to happen. So please be wise, be careful when you're interacting with people on the internet. I'm pretty straightforward. If I'm doing a giveaway, you're gonna know about it. If I'm giving stuff away, or if you're a regular viewer on the channel, I mean, there are names and faces that I recognize just from seeing the comments and the interaction, and so you would know it's me, and it would come from my actual email address. I'm not gonna tell you in the message. I'm not gonna tell you in the comments down below that you want to give away on a guitar that I haven't talked about, and then I'm not gonna charge you $400 for shipping. So that's what somebody said, was that they were gonna get a Les Paul Custom from me, and it was gonna be $800 shipping, and then someone else had another one that it was gonna be a Fender of some sort, a Telecaster, I think, for $400. And so what they're trying to do is just get you to Venmo them or PayPal them money, and then they're just gone like a fart in the wind. And so that really, that bums me out. I don't want that to happen. So be very careful when you see those comments. Like I said, if I'm giving something away, you'll know about it, and it will be much more official. Anyway, yesterday I changed my picture because I was like, okay, well, they're using an old picture, so that's annoying. But there must be some software that they figured that out, because immediately I changed my picture from an older one of me holding a Huss and Dalton to me holding a Guild. And it's like a color pop picture where it's like gray and my face is in color and all that stuff. And immediately it updated on the message me on Telegram. So anyway, I'm very sorry for that. It's very annoying. So, so Joel got an Orangewood. He's in Charleston, South Carolina. Got an Orangewood Oliver Live last week. That's a great guitar. I have one of the new Oliver Natural Bursts, the Burst Tops. Cool guitar. I just filmed a video on it yesterday. That'll go out beginning of next week, and very cool. What else is going on? So, Bat might Batmite Star. Hey from SoCal. Hey Jeremy, John D15. Good evening. Heyo, somebody over far east of us. East. So yeah, hello Jeremy from Southern Virginia. Hey buddy. Is that chair felt? It is now. I just got it. This is a good chair. If I sit all the way back. I also love these portraits on the wall back here. This property is called the Carriage House at Goose Hill. And so it's a swanky event space that is owned by my brother-in-law, Donald Miller. And anyway, super cool place. I'm incredibly thankful that I get to use this for the live show. So, heyo, Ditch, you're only, Ditch 776, 1776. Only 5 minutes late. All right, buddy, you're doing it. You know, I was almost 5 minutes late, so it works out. Morgan, the OMJM fell through. I decided to accept, and when I did, the guy suddenly pulled out. Oh, that sucks. Okay, so this week, the general ambition, and I have changed my negative always gets more views. If I say, like, when guitars fall apart, and I look sad and I look angry. That doesn't do well for my heart, and it doesn't do well for our community. So, I'm feeling tentative about this. I mean, there's also another component. So I'll tell you about the thing that sparked the idea for this video. So, a week and a half ago, I sold my Hudson Dalton TDM. We came down to Nashville. We needed to clear up some space. I didn't want to sell that guitar, but we're still in a place where that's how I pay the bills, is that I buy and I sell guitars. I make YouTube videos about it. And so we don't get to have, sacred cows hanging around. And so I also, with that, I only took a high number. So I took a really good payday on that guitar so that it would cover our mortgage and it would blah, blah, blah. Cover the life that we live, which is still very, very modest. And while I have very expensive guitars, I still have Target socks. And, frugality is still the name of the game in small business ownership. So I sold this guitar. It went to a guy. And so there were some things that just happened in the process of buying and selling that guitar to him. I saw red flags beforehand, and then I got full confirmation as things have gone. I mean, it's bad. It's not settled, so I don't want to talk about the whole deal yet. But eventually it will be. But it involves, the high points are, I sold my Hudson Dalton. When it got shipped back to me, the headstock is entirely broken off. It is completely detached. And it is the responsibility of the carrier that was shipping it. Wasn't my carrier, wasn't my insurance. The guy returned it, he bought his own label and took on his own liability and his own insurance. So in that place is where it got broken. And so because of that, it has made some complications for how we settle up and yada, yada, yada. So anyway, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that guitar as much. It's still very much in the middle of like, I have your money, you have the guitar. Well, you don't have the guitar. Now I have the guitar. Well, I have your money, but it's actually my money. There's a lot going on there. So I'm not going to talk too much about the details. I'm actually also, whoa, hey, there's a wasp in here. There's also, I'm not going to show any of the pictures yet. So I'll do that here in a couple weeks when things kind of settle out. But I think overall, we can just talk about when deals fall through. What do you do? How do you recoup? And then also some of the red flags along the way. Yeah. So it sounds like there's an Emerald X20 arriving Monday. I had a Larrivee LV10 show up yesterday. That's going to be super exciting. I think I've got some plans for that one. If you don't know, the Larrivee LV10 is their top of the line, pearly, beautiful. I don't know what, it's an L shape. It's like a Gibson E shape, but it's exceptional. It's a great guitar. Has a really good, the studio anthem in the side of the guitar. So, David Pritchard says, I had a deal fall through yesterday, reluctantly selling my Ferk Yellow Deluxe GCSR, and the guy traveled far to get here. As soon as he arrived, he was finding faults with the neck profile and action. Yeah, don't know if he was looking for a discount or not, but now he has me doubting or not, but now he has me doubting the quality of the... Don't do that. It's an excellent guitar. Also, guitars always freak out, especially this time of year. So I think he got cold feet and probably he either wanted out of the deal or he wanted a discount, and he doesn't need to get either. Well, yeah, he probably should get out of the deal, but I'm sorry, that's a bummer. What were you trying to sell it for? Can I ask? I have one of those. They're excellent. They're such good guitars, but my concern, like, they're such a nicer version of a Taylor 714 that I think those don't hold their value great. So anyway, yeah, don't doubt the quality of the guitar because it's freaking excellent. Ferks they are world-class guitar builders. Larry Hogan says, I have a 1973 Yamaha 330, solid top, mahogany back and sides. Do you know about these beige label guitars? Yeah, I mean, they're in the 70s. Red was 60s, beige. They're about the same. Usually they sound excellent and they play hard. They're laminate back and sides as well, I believe. They they really, really are good sounding guitars, but the necks can be narrow. They're 1 11/16, and then they have high action usually, and so nobody wants to reset the neck. So yeah, they have been the go-to choice for great guitar players as their affordable guitar, but it's much more like it's not a good guitar for a beginner because it plays so hard. Usually, that's a broad brush. So probably not everybody, but for the most part, that's most people's experience with those. Keys Toft says, word up from Cornwall in the UK. Cornwall? That's awesome. Glad you're here, man. Or woman, don't know. Shouldn't assume. Likely nothing a truss rod adjustment wouldn't fix. He was likely looking for a discount. I agree. I think, the Yellow Deluxe, yeah. They're so well set up. They're all, I don't know if they're plecked, but they're just so, if you meet the Czech people, like, for them, the details are where your moral fiber exists. So for them, like, the details will freaking matter, and they will nail them. They're not worried about total output. They're worried about that output. The quality of that glue joint, of that setup, of that action leaving the guitar from the factory. So in my experience, the Ferks, they all get a little buzzy, but as soon as you take like just a quarter or half turn off. Now keep in mind, they're made in Europe. The ones that are coming to the US that we're seeing are going out of Germany. They're going out the North Sea. They're going across the Atlantic, around Iceland and Greenland. And then they're coming over. Then they go into North Carolina. Then they go to Atlanta. From Atlanta, they go, from North Carolina to Atlanta, they're on a train. And then in Atlanta, they get taken off of a train. They get put onto trucks, and they get brought to Nashville to Airlane Drive. So anyway, so then by the time you get them, like, they're built in a different continent. They've been in a super humid environment. They've been on a super dry environment. And now it's whatever season they're in. And they're a new guitar. So anyway, I think most people, it's interesting. If people want to live and die by that, I'll let them. Like, if they say, like, well, the deal's off, the guitar's buzzy. I'm like, okay, like, you're not the right person to own a guitar. Like, if you think that a guitar will always be good, never buzz, never have any issues or maintenance, you're just not a qualified buyer. Like, it's not, it would be, I am asking for and opening up myself to just lots of pain and sorrow dealing with you on the front end if you don't know that stuff. So anyway, looks like people talking about that. It won't let me scroll up. 2,000 euro? Oh yeah, I think you're right on. Yeah, that's dollar to the euro are about the same right now, I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, 2,000 euro seems like a great amount for that guitar. Engine 11/16. Ryan says he prefers that. Got short fingers. That makes sense. Austin says that's the best bang for your buck guitar. I think so too. Jean Lervet created his unique L-shaped body or L body shape in the early 70s. It's basically a classical sized body with symmetrical parabolic X bracing. That was awesome. I need to know more about this because I just got, that LV10. Daniel, yes, Daniel, he says he's going to miss me tomorrow in Philly. Man, that's part of being here in Nashville. Like, I'm just not. If I was in Harrisonburg, I could drive up to Philly tonight, hang out with Daniel, and then we could go to the show tomorrow. I could meet a bunch of you guys that are going to be at the show tomorrow. But it just didn't work out the way life has us spending time and relational energy now. We're in Nashville. Even though tomorrow I'm going to be driving back to Virginia. Maybe I should just keep going an extra 5.5 hours and go up. That would be, holy cow. I'm doing the math. Nope, that math is wrong. It's 8 hours from here to Harrisonburg, and then it's another 5.5. So it's what, 12.5? 13.5 hours? It's still pretty far from here to Philly. Oh, my camera's frozen. What the? Hold on. Why you no work? All right, hang on. I'm gonna add it again. That was weird. That was on this end. Oh, hang on. What happened? Oh, the battery died. That's why. It'll get you every time. Hang on 1 second. I'm gonna get a new battery. Happy? There we go. Okay, new battery. Sorry about that. Okay. Yes, Morgan, please do. Yeah, so the camera froze, battery died. We're back. Okay. So quit the circuit. Have you tried turning it on? Yeah. Have you tried turning it on and off again? Yeah, I did actually. And then okay, because I have, no one cares. I'll save you 8 seconds of unneeded. Still frozen? Should be good now. Hang on, I'm gonna look over here. Daniel's full of it. I got it. Okay, here we go. I think we're back. And we're back. Okay. Wow, epic background. Yeah, velvet chair, brass lamp, a bunch of portraits on the wall. This is all Donald Miller's. This is Donald Miller's office. Over there is his office and all the stuff. Oh, I have stuff I could show you. No, hang on. I'm not going to get distracted. I got a box from D'Addario. There's some cool stuff over there. Test fall, yeah. Okay, I want to run through a couple things. So these are... Why are you not working? Where you go? Oh, I know why. I have to take this down here. There we go. So, okay. I just want to talk about some red flags as I've experienced them. And now, like I said earlier, there is a situation unfolding right now that's painful and annoying and problematic that I have to deal with. And I keep trying to figure it. So I'm not going to talk about that situation. Anyway. I'll tell you more when that deal is done. But here's some red flags, generally speaking, when you're selling guitars. Because it's the place where you feel over the bucket. Like somehow, I know for me, I have this fear. I'm like, oh no, if this person doesn't buy this guitar, then I'm going to be in financial ruin, and then I'll never have money again, and I'm going to be stuck with this guitar that I don't like. And then I just get into this... I just get into this loop that I'm stuck with, I'm going to be stuck with this guitar and that it's really bad. So anyway, take a breath, take a lap. It's okay. Just know when to hold them, know when to walk away. So red flags when selling guitars. Number one, when somebody just buys a guitar without any communication. Like that's interesting and strange to me. Now, some stuff, it's totally normal. Like if you're selling pedals, like pedals are pretty straightforward. They're affordable. They're a couple, they're under $100. They're a couple $100. They're not crazy, and people know what to expect, and the stakes are lower. So they're not going to like send you a message and make sure like, are you the original owner? Like no one cares if you're the original owner of like a metal zone. Doesn't matter. But they'll ask you other questions like, does it have Velcro on the back? Is it a smoke? Was it in a smoky place? Has it ever been underwater? Those kind of questions. That's a question that I think we should actually ask more in the pedal world. Has it been underwater? Has it been on a gross basement floor? So anyway, so the Husson Dalton that I sold a couple weeks ago, it was a guy who, to the best of my knowledge, doesn't follow me on YouTube, doesn't follow me on Instagram, doesn't really know who I am, but he just found the guitar that I was selling through SEO, which, praise the Lord, that my SEO is working well in getting people that want to buy guitars, because that's still the main way I make money, is selling guitars. And so he just came through and just bought it. Like, didn't ask any questions beforehand. It was just all of a sudden, just like completely out of nowhere. It was like, oh, somebody paid $3,500 for my Husson Dalton. Now I will say there's a loophole on my website, and tell me what you guys think about this. I charge $50 shipping on guitars. It's almost always more expensive than that, but I'm just like, I'll cover it, I'll get it packed, and I'm going to insure it to the gills, and then have other options for shipping that is cheaper. Like I offer free shipping on coffee, and it costs me like $4, $4.50 to send a bag of coffee. So by the time I buy the coffee and ship it and pay the credit card fees, like I'm making a couple bucks, like $2, maybe $3 per bag of coffee. But anyway, so on this guitar, this guy used you can use the different shipping options for different products. So people will use the coffee shipping to get guitars shipped for free. And then it makes me make the email like, hey man, you got to pay $50. And then people are like, well, that's too expensive. Can you do it without it? And then, so anyway, we're trying to figure that out on the Squarespace end to not let it be that way. But anyway, so this guy bought it for $3,500 and then used the coupon or used the coffee shipping so that he got it for free. Whatever, $3,500, I'll ship it for free. And so anyway, we just, this guy just bought it without asking any questions. And then really clearly it became like, after he bought it, he then sent me like 15 emails asking questions, which was really interesting. So number two, one of the red flags is he's never even played one like that. He'd never played a Husson Dalton before. And so that's where I was like, okay, this thing's probably coming back. And so, I mean, not that it's like it feels like a high-end acoustic guitar, it feels like a boutique guitar, but I mean, the thing is, every single guitar, you have to kind of feel what you like and what you want and how much money you'd actually put into it, and you have to make sure you feel good with the deal first. So anyway, yeah, so that's just a red flag. If somebody says like, oh yeah, I've never played one, but I'm sure I'll like it, you're like, okay, well, maybe, hopefully, I hope you do. Yeah. Jake Weber says, I'm convinced some people just want to waste your time and have no intention of buying because they're nuts. Is that too cynical? No, I think there's, yeah, if people exist on a bell curve, then we're going to have the lunatics out on either end. Like, there are people on the other end of this spectrum that, like, they just buy stuff, whether they like it or not, and you'll never hear another word from them. They just bought it. No questions, no regard, no nothing. They're just buying stuff they don't need. That's on one end. On the total other end is they don't actually want to buy it, but they're going to buy it, and they're going to play it for a couple days, and then they're going to return it. They're going to treat you like Guitar Center. And you have to work hard to fend off that kind of annoying guitar buyer. Yeah. I think you just have to remind people that that you're not a guitar shop. Like, I'm not a guitar shop. Like, I'm a person. Now, with that said, I am a business, and I have an employee. Used to have 2 employees. Anyway, Dylan graduated from college like a jerk. And, yeah, I'm looking for an editor. If any of you, ideally you live in the Valley. So if you live in the Valley and like guitars, I probably already know you. So, Miles, you gonna do this? Tom says, I bought 2 guitars and 5 pedals this week. No questions asked. Lol. That's funny. But, dude, you're a pro. You know what you're doing. I think this is more like when somebody's buying stuff and they don't know what they're doing. They don't know that Like, the people who can buy something without asking questions are not the people, like, they are the people who know the questions to the answers they would ask. Or they know how to overcome, like, okay, if I get a guitar and it's a little, like, bumped up, you know, if it plays hard, if it buzzes, yada, yada, yada. They know how to fix it. Yeah. So, hang on, I'll turn these off. Yeah, I'll turn these off for 1 second. There's a great question here. So, Stephen Whitney says, Jeremy, what guitar pedals do you recommend for overdrive, delay with tap, and reverb for church music? I've been through some bad deals before. I'm sorry, buddy. Okay. Overdrive, my favorite overdrive pedal is the JHS Morning Glory. I think I have the V4. Yeah, the V4 with the red remote. It's basically 2 overdrives. One is an always-on, like, gritty, fun, low overdrive. And then the next one pushes you up into, like, almost a distortion. For me, that's the perfect one for me because it does, like, a bright, full, almost like chuggy palm muty thing. I like that one a whole lot. Not crazy expensive, under $200, I think. How much are Morning Glories going for now? I haven't looked them up in a bit. I think I got mine for $165 with a red remote. But I worked some negotiating sorcery to get that one. That's a great pedal. The other one is the Mythos Mjolnir, is excellent. It's a more like, it's more Klon-ish. And so it lends to a kind of guitar playing that I don't do as much. But I like it for what I use it for, but I like the Morning Glory more so that I can get those 2 stages in one pedal. So then the next one, the next question was the delay. A delay with tap, to me it's the Mythos Oracle, is the best out there. It is so good. That is my pedal. Like, if I could only have one pedal on my board, I would have that. If you told me a year ago I would have a delay on my pedal board and I would love it, I wouldn't believe you. Like, I love delay, but to me I'm always like, I have to have a reverb pedal. That's my, like, home base. I have to have that. Maybe a tuner. Tuner's number 1 for me, and then a reverb. And then behind reverb, then I would add in, like, an overdrive. I would add in a modulation or a time thing. Yeah, the flashback is also great. The flashback with the tone print and the Hall of Fame Mini for the reverb with the tone print, so you can play around with a bunch of different reverbs. Both of those are great. The JHS 3 series are excellent. Excellent. And they're super, super affordable. Like, you can get them $80 used. And they're $100 new with a warranty. So anyway, I think that's probably your best bet. So I'm gonna come back over here. $199. Oh yeah, that's for the new Morning Glory's new. I always get stuff used because I can't pay retail prices. There's something, it's physically impossible for me. Emotionally, feels morally wrong to pay retail price. I don't know. That one's going to go with me to the grave, I think. So let's see. Paul says, honestly, checking out the community here over the last couple of years has transformed me into the type of buyer who might be afraid of the type of buyer who people are looking for. I hope. Sorry, I don't understand that. Thor Dane. Yeah, that's good. Those are great pedals too. Joachim Jonker. Do you sell and trade guitars and gear at Facebook Marketplace? I do, because I don't use reverb, because you probably know those guys are the worst. I don't feel like I dislike. I love reverb until you need any level of customer support or like support from reverb themselves. They are happy to take your money, but it's good. I mean, they're good at introducing you to people that want the piece of gear that you're selling. They're really, really bad at helping you resolve any kind of issues that you have with people, and they will always go towards the people who are buying over the people who are selling. Even though you are paying the insurance, you're paying the credit card processing, like you're the one paying the overhead for reverb, they're always going to go against you. So it's been a pain. Yeah. So they haven't played one like it. If you have to kind of feel out like, hey, what's your experience level? Especially if you're selling anything that requires any nuance or any subtlety or any consideration, you just have to really get your head around that stuff. So that was a big red flag. Third one, I think you should return stuff. I think you should be very open. Like, you got 24 hours, you got 48 hours. Be really clear in the expectations that they have. But in that time, like, you will give me all of the money and you will get all of the guitar for 24 to 48 hours. At that point, you decide if you want to get it back to me. And your responsibility to get it back to me is that it has to be in the exact same condition that it was when I gave it to you, in the same way that your cash will be in the same, you know. Like, you will get your money back when I get the guitar back, and it's like we went back to 2 or 3 days ago before we knew each other, and, you know, I had a guitar and you had money. That's the thing. So that's what happened with the Huss and Dalton deal, is that, yes, the guitar got returned, the guy didn't want it, but in the end, it got damaged when he still owned it. And so that's the hang up that we're in now. Like, hey man, it was yours until it was back to me as it left me. So, yeah, so when someone says something like, I can return it for any reason, right? That's when in a very friendly way, I remind people, like, hey man, like, I'm not a guitar shop, so you can't just borrow stuff. If you want to rent it, I'll let you rent it, and I can make up a rental agreement that you can just rent this and borrow it, but you will be responsible for the damage and the condition. I've never actually I've let people borrow stuff. I never actually charged someone to rent something, but it's a thing that I've used that line a bunch of times. Like, hey, like, if you just want a cool guitar to play for the weekend while you're in town, got it. You can rent this for $40 a day. You know, you can have this thing, and it's super fun, cheaper than a concert, you know, and you can play guitar at the beach house while you're there, whatever. But anyway, so that's where, like, I think it's important to return guitars, but I don't think it's important or helpful to, yeah, I don't think it's helpful to avoid. Anyway, sorry, the wheels fell off in my brain over there. Yeah. So, red flag number 4, and this is a line that actually has been used on me before. Once people know that I'm not only just a guy selling a guitar, but I have a YouTube presence. I have a reputation in the guitar community. And it feels like, you know, somebody's threatening to break your kneecaps, you know. It'd be a shame if that reputation of yours took a hit. And so that's happened. Somebody, you know, several people have said, like, someone of your reputation really wouldn't want to not return a guitar to a guy like me. And that's where I'm like, I'll print the freaking emails. Like, you know, so, anyway, try to be good, happy, not spicy. But anyway, it really is a shame that and that's where I think tyranny is the forcible removal of nuance. And so if people can't understand the nuance of, I'm buying from a person, I'm not buying from a guitar shop. Now, the advantages of buying from a person are that I'm going to get a better deal. I'm not going to have to pay sales tax most of the time, unless you're paying through PayPal, and then whatever, over $650 or $600, you're paying money that way. But like, if you're just meeting in person paying cash, you're not paying sales tax because it's just private party. So that's a huge advantage. But the flip side of that is, what's the Sectum Sempra? Nope. Hang on, that's a Harry Potter spell. That's funny. Sectum Sempra! What's the other one? It's a Latin word for buyer beware. Caveat emptor. Caveat emptor. So buyer beware. So it's like, all sales are final. You have this moment to decide, do you want to exchange the money in your pocket for the guitar in their hands? Bada bing, bada boom. It is always and forever done. Like, it's not on you. You have no recourse. It is just, you made a decision in that moment. So, anyway. Yeah. So, anyway, you start feeling, when a deal really starts getting hairy and slippery, squirrely, you start feeling people move away from, like, one thing that I always say, and I think it's this next one. Yeah, you start switching from collective language into individual language. So what happened in the past when I've had guitars that get damaged, and I'm the one that discovers the damage, or if I've handled this a handful of times. Each time my strategy is, hey man, or like, hey, here's what happened. Here's some pictures of it. Here's how I propose we handle it. number one, during this process, we're going to feel a lot of pressure to turn against each other, and that guarantees the fact that this will be a hard interaction for both of us. So what we have to learn to do is we have to commit right now that we're going to work together to get through this. So the guitar wasn't damaged when it left you. It was damaged when it arrived to me. The only way it could have gotten damaged is by the carrier in the meantime, or however your situation works. Whenever the deal falls apart, you have to say, like, hey, we've got to work through this. We need to stick together. But people will immediately, once people get scared, once people get embarrassed, if people feel hurt, if they feel like they've made a mistake, that's the real one. When someone realizes that they didn't buy insurance, or they, whatever the exposure that they have, whatever embarrassing thing has come to light, their response is almost always like anger, in my experience. And so that's when people get really loud, lots of cuss words, they just lose control of themselves. So anyway, so I think that's one thing. I always try to guide language back towards, hey, we got to work together. Like, you and I are in this together. If we go against each other, we're probably, it's going to go bad. And so, yeah. Again, don't want to give very specific details of what's going on right now. But, yeah, so, Tom, that's good. And yeah, Tom, how do you respond to bullies? Like, so it's funny. One of the people who so Philip McKnight several times has texted or called me and told me that I'm too nice and that I need to be meaner to people. It's just, I feel like my strategy in life is brute force optimism, like complete unrelenting optimism, do what's right, work hard, do good in the world. But then also you have to, it's one of those, as shrewd as snakes, like what Jesus says, to be as innocent as doves and as shrewd as snakes. It's one of those moments for me where I'm like, okay, don't mistake my kindness for meekness, because I will stand up, I will defend, and I'll get big, I'll get loud. And I don't do that very often, but it's a trick that everyone has to have. When you say enough is enough, we're done, we're not talking about this anymore, this will be the last time we communicate, and after this, my attorney, yada yada yada. So you do have to know when to be forceful. But I'm interested, Tom, how you stand up to bullies. There's definitely, one of the larger strategies of a bully is to isolate you, put you into a corner, make you feel like you are alone, you're helpless, and you are at the mercy of the person bullying you. And that is nonsense. So, hey-o, Matt McFarland's here. Hey, buddy. Let's see. Hamburg Solutions says, question about your current predicament. Did the guitar arrive with no problems to the buyer and broke it on the return to you? Also, why was it being returned? The guitar made it to him. It was fine. He just didn't like how it played. And it was a little rougher condition because he didn't read the description. So it was a very worn Hudson Dalton TDM. That's kind of why I liked it so much, is that it really had some fun playware. So that's number one, is that it went to him and it was fine. And he confirmed, it plays great, it's fine, I just don't like it. And so he's like, I'm going to return it. And so when he returned it, it left him totally fine. By the time it got to me, the headstock was broken off when we opened the box. When we opened the case inside the box that was packed with bubble wrap. So, it's not the end of the world. It broke. So the way to fix this is all right, you either have to it is on you to see the entire process through. Get me a guitar that is the exact same condition as what I had. And so that's where the hang up has been. So, yeah. Yeah, $50 is crazy cheap for shipping. Thank you. Can I put that as a quote on my website? And say, please don't use the free coffee. Because it's interesting. It's I understand asking for a deal, but then it's pretty clear where it's this shipping option is definitely for a $20 bag of coffee. It's not for, it is not intended for, a $3,500 guitar that I have to pay insurance on. Like, I think shipping on that was around $100 for me, and that's even with my deal and insurance and all that stuff. So, yeah. So Daniel says, I tend to say, "You will not bully me," then reframe the description of the conflict. Daniel, I bet you're really good at that. Daniel's an attorney, and I don't think I have the right personality for, like, I'm not afraid of conflict, but I don't like people not liking me. And that doesn't mean, like, I don't change who I am to be more likable. But if I feel like I've done the right thing and someone, whatever the arithmetic my brain operates by, I don't understand when people lie or misrepresent things. And I'm realizing way more people lie about way more stuff than I ever thought people would. To me, I'm like, I keep coming out of it like, do you have no shame? Like, I would die of embarrassment if I lied about something like that. If I was trying to commit fraud to get out of paying for something. That's crazy to me. Thanks, man. He says, based on that, you're in the clear. Yeah, it's hard. It's very cut and dry. But there's been lots of anger. Brute force optimist, love it. Patience, mercy is not a lack of strength. It's more like showing restraint and proper use of it. That's what I'm going for. Like, I don't want to say it's to, like, speak quietly and carry a big stick. To me, it's, like, the most honorable trait you can have is a deep sense of control over your whole person. That it is brought into the best version of yourself that is both, like, compassionate, but also resilient, but also will protect and will defend when you need to. So anyway, as soon as people, the red flag number 5, as soon as people start switching gears into, well, you didn't write that in the description, and I was innocently defrauded of my money. Just nonsense. Number 6, they qualify or attest to their own honesty or goodness. Beware of the man who has a poster on his wall telling you how honest he is. That's what I remember, those motivational posters. One of my first sales jobs, when I was in Louisiana, I was meeting with this guy and we're talking about a $3 million contract. I'm like 25 or 26 at this time, and we're negotiating the terms and the expectations of this. And there was a part, I think it was basically because the contract, we were starting in October, so we were going to prorate 2 months. And the way the guy wanted to shake the deal out felt icky. Like, the way he wanted to work out compensation both for me and to the company I worked for felt shady. He wanted to prorate at a much lower rate the first 2 months of that deal. Technically 3, because you have October, November, and December. And it just felt very strange. And then he gave me this wink. And I look, like, over his shoulder is a freaking poster about honesty and integrity. And so for me, I just felt like this is morally bankrupt. So I ended up kind of letting my boss know, and he's like, I knew that guy. I knew that guy would try that. So anyway, so beware of anyone trying to tell you how honest they are. When they say, oh, me, little old, super honest, never hurt a fly, Brian. So anyway, it drives me crazy. Yeah. So Aaron says, Old West Tattoo says, I want to know I did the right thing regardless of how others choose to behave. I think that's the thing. And that's what's hard, is I find myself having to, like, double check with, like, my wife or other people in the deal. Like, tell me I did the right thing, right? Like, I'm not wrong, because in the face of someone, like, saying that I'm a horrible person, I'm defrauding them, that I did something really wrong. So I've just had to continually just, like, give space, not talk about it, and just, like, in all of those deals. I remember when Reverb, because it was like me against Reverb's legal team a couple of years ago. Not their legal team, but it was like the heavy brass of their policy enforcement at Reverb. The summer of 2018 sucked to be selling guitars with Reverb. Okay, so hang on, I want to go back and read Tom's questions about being bullied. I'm going to turn these off real quick. So Tom says, part 1, corporate training from dealing with customers. 1, acknowledge you heard them by repeating their stated problem. 2, offer a general apology without admitting fault. I'm really sorry, or I am sorry you're angry. That's good. And then number 2, part 2 and 3. Move into addressing the issue. I'd like to work with you, but I cannot put up with you yelling and swearing. And then where's your third one? Okay. I think that was 2 and 3. But man, that's good. I think the big thing is a way that I've found to deal with angry people is to, 1, don't take the bait. They want you to be angry and they want to be in control. And so for me, it's like, I have a very stubborn streak. And so if someone wants a certain reaction from me and I know it, over my dead body, will I give in? Like, you're not going to make me feel angry or upset, or even, to have that freaking cool of Don Draper when he's in the elevator. And the guy's like, basically saying, you took my idea. You know what I think? You know what I think about you? And then Don Draper's response is, I don't even think, or what is it? I don't think about you. Just this, like, I'm not even going to give you, to just downplay all of this. So, yeah, that's really good. So, public service announcement. This is from Guitar Squatch. Look up shipping label discount services. I use one called Shippo, and I save $20 to $30 per label. I use ShipStation. I actually want them to be a sponsor on the channel because I use them every day, and it's an awesome service. On most guitars, if it's just the guitar, I'm going to pay $25-30 for the label. Now with that's no insurance, and that's UPS or USPS for the most part. By the time you add insurance, if you buy the carrier insurance, it's real expensive. But they offer a third-party insurance that you can use called ship insurance. And so with that, usually like a guitar is like $50, $60 for me. That's usually about what they are. It depends on, that's a 22-pound guitar. That's a 48-inch box by a 20-inch box by an 8 or 10-inch box. So anyway, and then shirts, like all the shirts that y'all bought, they're usually like $4.50. They go out priority. But anyway, that's an awesome one. So that was it. Weird formatting in the YouTube comments. Got it. Okay. So Greg says, Jeremy, I got scammed $1,500 by a seller. If you're buying a guitar, what is the best way to pay? How do you know if the person will send it after you send the money? I don't like those deals. I don't do many deals where it's not in person, in cash. When I'm buying stuff now, I use the fact that, I have a huge amount to lose by scamming you out of a guitar. Like when I trade somebody, hey, you send me the guitar, I have 24 hours to look at it, and then I'll send you the other one. I'll cover shipping. So we get everything in writing. And then the other thing is how did you pay? If you pay through PayPal, well, first of all, I need to go back. I'm very sorry. $1,500 is a lot of money, and that really, really sucks to lose. I've never had that happen, but I can imagine. Man, that would be awful. So, yeah. So the question is, how did you send the money? Like, there's some methods of payment that are just gone, like an e-check, gone. Bank transfer. You pretty much have no recourse. PayPal, you have some, especially if you send money through PayPal through the goods and services, there's protection through that, so you can do it. Also, if you have credit card, if you can show that it's fraudulent. But if it's like cash or check or Zelle, yeah. So PayPal goods and services. Oh, maybe that's somebody else. That's Rodney saying that. Yeah, you might have buyer protection if you can get through it. All right, let's keep cruising. We're coming to an end. So beware of anyone trying to remind you how honest they are. This one is kind of like the one before. If it's the first guitar they've owned of that type, So this most recent one was, well, this is the first boutique acoustic guitar the guy's ever played or owned. So I was not optimistic. I mean, it's just a thing where like, okay, well, because sometimes people's expectations on a boutique guitar is that it will be the best perfect guitar I've ever played. And then you get it and you're like, okay, well, it's like 8% better than a Martin HD28 or a D18. But you're like, okay, but there's, this other. So the expectations meeting reality, that's a hard part. So, yeah. So Daniel says, the key is writing, knowing the identity of buyers. Yeah, knowing the identity of buyers and sellers. If you got screwed, ultimate resource is a lawsuit and collections. If you can't get a credit card payment or payment processor to get the money back. Yeah, that's a good one. Oh, there was another like kind of guiding principle that I have, because in 2020, I had some legal trouble with guitar stuff. And it's the only time I've had to like use an attorney to figure stuff out. And one of the phrases that the attorney used that I thought was so helpful is he said, if you have to have a critical conversation, either record it, but you have to figure out if the state that you're recording the person in, if both the state you're in and the state they're in are, single party consent recording states. If you get to dual party, that's the complication. The general principle that he tied it all together with in one sentence that I've used since, which is so helpful, which is you can't print a phone call. Now, sometimes you can. There are certain services that you can buy and they can give you a transcript, or you can set a recording. Like I used a record thing the other day for an appointment, and it like makes a transcript, which is amazing because then you can go back and search. Like when you're looking for specific phrases, you can go back and find them. But you can't print a phone call. So if you feel somebody's really hot and upset and angry and they're just going to yell at you, don't call them, just email them. And then that kind of forces them to put things in writing that they probably wouldn't. So that's what's happened to me in the past. People have made threats of different things they're going to do, and they put them in writing. And all of a sudden, when they're saying they're going to sue me for libel or whatever, all of a sudden you can say like, you said you were going to do it. You said you were going to libel me. So thanks for putting that in writing. So anyway. PA is a two-part. I've wondered, Daniel, does that, how about YouTube videos? Like, do I need to get releases for people to be in YouTube videos? I know in Virginia it's single party, in Louisiana and Tennessee. So the main three places that I tend to make YouTube videos. But I didn't know for sure. I need to just Google this and then remember, or maybe keep a note in my phone as to what's what. But I'm going to run through. I want to show you a couple things real quick. Won't be any guitars, but it's some cool guitar stuff. So, my friend Andy Pitcher, who is amazing. He used to work for Stringjoy. He's now the head of artist relations at Diodario. He was in my most recent The Bluegrass is Dead video. But I told him, I was like, hey man, I'm in Tennessee for a while. I don't have like tools and strings and basic stuff. And could you just help? And he's like, anything you need. So he sent me one of these earlier this week. And if I put it in front of my face, it'll focus. And so it's this really cool cleaning kit. This is the maintenance kit. I already have a cleaning kit that didn't quite have what I needed. So in this kit, there's all the cool stuff I need. So there's like string lubricant, there's a multi-tool, there's a guitar snipper, there's a capo up top, there's a little neck hold support thing. Over here, there's a thing for like a little neoprene pad. So this thing is basically everything I need. Everything I need. Oh, cool. Yes. Okay, I just got this. This is awesome. So that's like a thing to, again, cover up my face. Focus. Focus. Do it. Do it. Find it. It's not gonna find it. Anyway. Okay, so, and then there's also a magnet over here. If you take out any screws, it sticks to there. So I got this thing today. I have a couple guitars I need to set up and restring to do some guitar stuff with. So that's one thing I'm really excited about. Thank you, Andy, and thank you, Diodario, for that. Nope, not worth it. Diodario. He sent me some of these, a sound hole tuner. Sent me one of the rechargeable Mamma Jammas. I'm actually really excited about these. So these are, they're a rechargeable battery. So I have that to look forward to. I can recharge and then I can lose them if I get them plugged in somewhere. Sorry, I don't know where that streak of cynicism came from. 2 more tuners in there. Then he sent me a bunch of strings. Sent me one of their newfangled fancy capos, which I just filmed a video. If you're a patron, I'll have a video about the Page Pro, which to me is basically the perfect expensive capo. Like, it's the perfect, like, best a capo can be. But this one I'm sure is going to be good too. I don't think it's going to be the same quality per se as, ooh, that feels great. Come on. So it's another like cradle style capo. So that's cool. Man, I like these. I love cradle style capos that like come around the back of the neck. So anyway, more on that later. And then they got one more thing I want to show you. 2 more things, but they're the same thing. But these O ports. I can go get a guitar. Should I try one of these? That's a giant sound hole right there. Should I go get a guitar and try this? Anyway, I think Single Party with the YouTube terms of service, they still retroactively remove permission. They can still, okay. Yeah. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab a guitar for this. I'm gonna grab, I'll show you. Any guesses? What do you think this is? Tell me what you think it is. First one to get it right, I'll send you a t-shirt. What guitar is in this box? It's a really good looking leather case. This is a premium guitar without a premium price. Tell me what brand. Tell me, yeah, tell me where is it made? Oh no, not the Husson Dalton, not a Ferk, not a Showalter, also a great choice. Ooh, Jake Weber is the most right yet. Keep going, keep going. Oh, I think there's still, oh, that's easy. Okay, this is, it is made, parts of it are made in Maine, and other parts of it are made in China. But this case does look like the Guild case. Hey-o! Stan Stepp got it, right? Is that your name, Stan Stepp 3? It is. This is a Chinese Bourgeois. This is a Bourgeois made by Eastman. So let me... So this, my friends, is a Bourgeois. So East Indian rosewood back and sides, lacquer finish, Alaskan spruce top, 1 3/4 inch. I think it's done. Okay, so here's the question. Okay, well this might be obnoxious. there's different sizes of these. Large, what size is this? Tell me, what are you? Okay, I think I need the small. I think the small one's over there. Okay, so the story goes that if you put this in the sound hole, it makes the guitar sound better. Oh, it goes this way. Hang on. I'm gonna need to, I should not have done this just like, easy to install. Tell me how. Is this interesting? Jeremy reads directions. Do I watch a video? It says easy to install, but there are no... Adds clarity and projection. So the story is that this kind of trumpety thing, it must go this way. Okay. All right. Are you in? I'm in. All right, we're gonna add like 15 minutes to this video. If you could, hit a thumbs up. Tell YouTube this video is worth watching. It's super helpful. Okay. Nothing like doing this $2,000 or $3,000 guitar. Ow! Okay, I can do this. I believe in myself. Okay, I don't know if this is gonna work. Well, it cracked. Okay, well, sorry, I'm gonna bail. I need to read the directions. I do have the toolkit. I literally just showed it. One thing I like is that they include a capo in this, because a lot of times you need a capo as a tool. Like I don't need a capo for the guitar, but I need it to like hold the strings in place while I take all the bridge pins out. Okay, here we go. Okay. Is this interesting? So this is well, it's got D'Addario strings on it. Okay, there we go. Now I can get... Guys, this has gone crazy. Okay. Okay. Because we didn't really pay attention to what the guitar sounded like before this. So, continuing. Okay, this one is too big. And we'll do the smaller one. This is the way it's definitely supposed to go in there. But man, it is not happy. Well, that one's way too small. And it's like cracked up in a couple places. Like you're definitely supposed to push it through. Okay, there we go. Clicked into place. So, now let's put the strings on there and come on up. Hey man.
You good if I close this up?
Yeah, I'm still doing my live show, but so I might be talking, but you're good.
Sounds good.
There was Don. Okay, now I got all the gear. So now I just need a tuner. Try one of these newfangled ones. That thing's fancy. Oh, the battery's dead. Come on, you can do it. So who was first? Whoever's first, whoever got that right, you can send me an email send it to assistant@jeremysheppard.com. ASSISTENT. Assistant. At Jeremy Sheppard, JeremySheppard. And you get a free shirt. You can do either the Guitars Make Us Better shirts or just one of the regular black or red or whatever other colors we have left. Yeah, Terry, I think you're right. Anything touching the top of the guitar would affect the vibration. Kinda, yeah. So this is one of the new Touchstone OMs from Bourgeois. Okay, cool. Well, it definitely sounds different. I don't know if it sounds like it has a little more bass and low end, but I don't know. I prefer using sound hole tuners. I like those little Diodario ones that clip here and go underneath. Anyway, cool. Well, thanks to Andy and thanks to Diodario for sending me this stuff. It really is really helpful. And I'm going to use it immediately. So this stuff is all, that's what, I mean, anyway, I don't feel like I need to say good things about Diodario. You guys know it. So anyway, this is well and good, but if you have, yeah, I mean, it for sure. So it's a cool thing if you don't have any controls, like as soon as you'd have like a volume control or tone control or a sound pickup, like a pickup in the sound hole. For me, I'd rather have a tuner here than down on the headstock. So anyway, it's definitely more projection. Like he's sitting in the room. I don't know how much gets communicated into the shotgun mic up here. Anyway, cool. Well, thanks everybody for watching the live show today. This is a really fun one, hour and 12 minutes or something. But it's a good day. So, and thanks for the total unexpected, the totally unexpected last turn of showing off this guitar. So this is Bourgeois Touchstone. This is an OM, so Alaskan Spruce, East Indian Rosewood back and sides. This is made by Bourgeois. So the top of this guitar is made in Lewiston, Lewiston, Maine. And it's Alaskan Spruce. It's then braced and voiced in the US. Then it's shipped to China, and then from the same materials that they would make all of the high-end Eastmans, they make the back and sides of the guitar, they put the guitar together. These are excellent. They're still, I mean, they are a real, they're supposed to be a boutique level guitar, and so they ended up, I mean, this guitar is, let's see, this guitar is like $28.99. So really excellent guitar, and if you want one, go call the boys at the Acoustic Shop and tell them I sent you. And I don't think I mean, we're working on an affiliate relationship, but right now I just like those guys. So anyway, I know, isn't yeah. I should have put this on a beater. It's the only guitar I have upstairs. You know, I have an orange wood over there. I could have done it on that one. That's the guitar that probably needs any TLC. This guitar still, like, already sounds like a freaking cannon. So, anyway, thanks for watching. See you guys later. Make sure you hit a thumbs up on this video. Go buy some merch if you want to support the channel. Consider becoming a channel member or a patron. And it's been really fun hanging out. And have a good weekend. Go fill the world with music and friendship. Thanks for bearing with me through, whatever. Go fill the world with music and friendship. See y'all later.